Welcome everyone, welcome to OzByDrone, and also to Ready Set Drone, and also to the Grumpy Vloggers channel, and also to Trevor's channel. We're everywhere tonight. You can't get rid of us.
Yay. How you going, everybody? Great to have you with us. Welcome to the show. Looking forward to a great show. This is our big fly-in day as well, and we're looking forward to seeing some great flying. Love the live video. What a special thing we have on our show. Wonderful to have.
Absolutely. And speaking of which, John, your drone's in pieces still?
My drone's in pieces to pieces. Yes, I've attempted to do some aerial modifications to the Phantom. And I sold all of my Mavic 2s. Well, I say all of them. I had 3. They're all gone, and a fantastic airplane. Not a bad word to say about it at all. But I wasn't using as much. We're using the Phantom mostly for survey work. And we were thinking of having a look at the Air 2S to replace it. But at the moment, we're sitting tight because there's still rumours abound of another new aircraft coming out in September. So wait that long, I'll use the Phantom. Anyway, the Phantom's in bits, I'm sorry. It will be back together in a few days. But so someone else is going to have to do the flying.
So speaking of which, we did say Ready Set Drone, and Kelly was our co-host last time. And in fact, he is our co-host today. We've got John here just for a little bit of time. We're waiting on Kelly to get his bird in the air and flying. So he said he was going to be our first flyer. So we're waiting for Kelly to
and
get
Kelly's
airborne.
stream is not working.
Message from the Jeep. I heard that, Lloyd. What was that?
Kelly's stream is not working.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
You can't get the video in?
It's just not running.
Okay.
It's still waiting.
Are you talking Rendezvous or the RTMP one?
No, I'm talking the I'm talking his show. It's actually OzByDrone simulcast is not working on Ready Set Drones channel.
There you go.
Okay. Check, is it working on yours, Lloyd?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know what Kelly's done, but I've got the right key and it's going everywhere else, but maybe he forgot to set auto start.
Yeah.
Can you type in his chat room that he needs to manually start it now because he forgot to set auto start, and that should get it going?
Okay.
This makes wonderful breakfast conversation.
It does. So let's get into a couple of things, right? So flying today, when you get a second, Lloyd, go and do the RTMP info in the chat room and let people know how they can do that. You need to do that to fly today. In fact, I'll do it just to make life easy.
He's getting ready to fly. So
Okay. So let's do a couple of things. During the show today, we've got our regular news kind of stuff that we're going to sprinkle in the middle of things. And Lloyd, I believe you've got your... so Title Alive is not working today, the stuff that we use to do the information on the screen. So instead, we're using a very high-tech solution. And are you ready, Lloyd?
Just about. I'm trying to get it all set up.
Okay, we ready? Here we go.
Here we go.
It's time for the news. Thank you, Officer Nightstick. And as always, OzByDrone News is brought to you by AirData UAV. Is your drone healthy, or is it about to surprise you on your next flight? Don't wait to find out. Discover...
Which one's the puppet?
Discover under the hood information and review the early signs of problems before you take off again. Use discount code OzByDrone20 to get a 20% discount. There is a link in the description of my video, and you can get a free version. Anyone who can tell Kelly in his channel that he needs to press the manual start right now. It is streaming through YouTube, but he just needs to manually start it and we'll be fine. Anyway, now our first story. Are you ready? Are we ready for this?
Ready for this.
Oh, first story. No, I wasn't ready for it.
He's got it.
You got me. Let's see. Make sure I got the right one here.
Yeah.
This is post-it note.
100-year-old technology.
Okay.
There he goes.
I think this is the right one.
Have you got a pen?
I've got a pin.
Paris
the right one?
Bans drones. That's the right one. Okay, let's get into it. Why is Paris the only EU capital to ban drones? Police have been systematically rejecting requests to fly over the capital, according to professional drone operators. Let's look.
Drone shots of central Paris could end up being rarefied archival footage. Police have been systematically rejecting requests to fly over the French capital, according to professional drone operators, such as Javier Dupupi.
Actually, we're almost being banned from working. It's an abuse of power from someone in a dominant position. Some people are struggling quite a lot financially.
Oops.
This is really affecting
Let's turn
us.
that up a bit.
It's affecting all of us.
Paris is classified as a no-fly zone for drones by law, but operators have been allowed to fly within the city in recent years, as long as they submit a formal request to police. That is until January, when operators say authorities suddenly changed their stance. So why the U-turn? Operators say it's a tit-for-tat measure, after France's Constitutional Council took issue in May with drone usage by the police, deeming it an intrusion on people's privacy. Emmanuel Veer is the Secretary-General of the SNJ Journalists Union.
Effet pervers et scandale absolu.
It's a perverse effect and an absolute scandal for the prefecture because they themselves cannot use drones to spy on protesters to be intrusive as declared by the Constitutional Council, and that's why the council rejected this use of drones as it is. And so to make everyone pay, the prefecture will place a ban concerning all drone operators to use drones in their line of work. It's an absolute scandal.
Okay, we'll stop it there and you get the idea. But what do you think, John? A kind of a tit-for-tat reaction.
Look, we've had those sort of things happen with councils before. Interestingly, the local council in certain areas might say, we're going to ban drones, we can do that. But they realise when they find the legal footing that they can't. So it's an interesting one how the city's going to do that, and I'm not sure how the French monitor their airspace. Of course, the FAA, whatever their regulatory body is the one that's going to have the final say over the city. But of course, one of the things that we know is about this is where you launch from. So if the city of Paris is able to put this blanket idea of you can't fly here, the question then comes if you're taking off from your own backyard in the city or your own rooftop, it's your own private property, and you're flying into essentially Commonwealth or federal airspace. So a lot of stuff to unpack there. Sometimes it's a bit of a hype, and obviously commercial drone operators, they're being interviewed saying they can't work. I would suggest that this is a real problem for them. I wouldn't belittle it all. And, I'm thankful that eventually they come around and sort of say, well, what harm is it really? And we need to use them ourselves. Law enforcement need to use them. There are all sorts of things that they will miss out on. It reminds me, 600 years ago, China burned all its ships because they were worried about technology escaping out of China. Of course, went well behind technological wise. So that's a bit of a game, really, and it's a shame that a bit of a news grab like this and a bit of a problem for them. I hope they sort it out. That's for sure, for all the pilots' sakes.
Yeah, absolutely. And you compare that to some of the stuff in Australia, and we've got the issue with Sutherland Shire Council, still got those signs up. That's been going on forever and a day. Maybe soon we'll get it sorted out. But in the meantime, someone needs a box of tissues, I think, over there. But let's get into our next story. That is this one.
One of these items is a Muppet and the other is a toy on a stick.
Okay. The US military's Mad Scientist Division, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, DARPA, they have unveiled new counter-drone system designed to protect convoys on the move. The system, known as Mobile Force Protection, launches a drone to intercept other small unmanned aerial systems. The drone then sprays pink material that we think looks like silly string, forcing the attacking drone to crash. The system was developed to specifically deal with threats that do not rely on radio or GPS receiver for their operation. John, you remember the guy, Mark Rober? Have you seen him? He's the guy who had that package bomb thing, the glitter bomb.
Yeah. I remember that.
We've got a lot of noise
idea
there for Lloyd today. Let's let's see if we can turn that down for a little while. There we go. So I'm just imagining Mark Rober building something that's got cans of silly string in it, attached below a drone, and the actuator that he uses currently for the fart spray.
Yeah, I'd love to see that system outrun some of our FPV pilots we have on the show. Once you can duck away from it and get close to the ground, that. I don't want to sort of talk down about the technology. It's an idea that someone's put, for counter drone stuff, and obviously developing it. So who knows where it will go and how manoeuvre it will be. But if you're going to chase an aircraft that's been flown, you're going to have something that's going to be pretty good. It's going to be dogfight material. That's what I'm saying, and come catch me if you can. Interesting. But I suppose if you're unsuspecting of it, if you couldn't see it, you didn't know it was there, it would take you down if it snuck up behind you, that's for sure. So I don't know. I mean, we're going to see more and more of these ideas come all the time. Counter drone technology is a very, very big business in the technological space, that's for sure.
Yeah. We've got another counter UAS story a little bit later, but before we do anything else, let's have a quick look at, we don't have anyone currently raring to fly. I know back in the old days when we first started doing these, we had lots of people waiting. Is anyone in touch with Kelly? Because he was going to fly first and then he was going to jump in and replace John. But at the moment, I don't have a Kelly. And can someone tell me, is Kelly's stream up? Has you managed to sort that out yet? While we're waiting for answers to those questions, also I have... I know you've got the next title ready, Lloyd. Okay, we'll get there in a minute. While we wait for that, here's my phone. He's sitting there, he's sitting there waiting with his puppet ready for the next one.
There we go. Look at it. There it is.
Let's come back over here for now. I want to show people how to live stream. So here's my phone, DJI Go 4. If you've got DJI Go 4, in the top right-hand corner, you click the three dots, and I'll get that off the screen. And at the bottom three dots over there, and I've got lots of pop-ups coming in, and we click Select Live Broadcast Platform over here. And Custom is what we need to select next. And at that point, you put in the URL, which is rtmp://rtmp.dronebook.org/live/Greg. And to make life easy, I'm going to put that in my chat room there, as well as a link to the video. So there's a video that can explain how to do that. If you haven't done it before, click that and that will run through and explain how to do that. Love to have someone else flying in the near future. In the meantime, we are now ready.
Go.
For the next story, which is this one, a drone swarm.
Woohoo.
So obstacle avoidance system testing takes time, patience, and a lot of crashes. One researcher has built a computer model to simulate the trajectories of 5 autonomous quadcopters flying through a dense forest without hitting anything. But crashes can get expensive while working on optimizing your code and eliminating bugs. So this researcher built a fake forest in his bedroom. Let's have a look.
So in this project, we have developed artificial intelligence that allows swarms of drones to fly through obstacles. As drones have become more inexpensive and more capable, engineers have been looking at flocking animals or swarming animals to make these drones fly together and accomplish a mission in large numbers. Animals are interesting because they seem to rely on very simple reactive rules to flock together. And what they seem to do is to align that flying trajectory to that of their neighbors and to maintain the same distance to their neighbors. And this results in very simple computer algorithms that can be used for flying these drones in the open skies. However, as soon as you use the same algorithm to let the drones fly through obstacles, you start to have problems, and the problems are traffic jams.
To achieve collective flights in challenging environments in the presence of obstacles, we combined bio-inspired swarm models with more advanced control techniques, namely model predictive control. According to our model, the agents have an internal model of their own dynamics. For instance, they know how much they can slow down and how much they can decelerate. This way, they can predict and foresee future slowdown and prevent their negative effect on their flight in real time. We tested our model in an artificial forest, and what we see is that the agents are able to coordinate themselves at the same time avoiding collisions with the obstacles, and they also avoid traffic jams.
There is still some work to do before we can scale this system up to drones that fly outdoor, for example, in forests or among buildings, which could be very helpful for search and rescue or for other inspection missions. And then the question is whether animals actually do something similar when they flock or swarm together. We do not know that, but some biologists already start thinking.
Okay. I was letting that play because I was deliberately trying to test out this streaming stuff and find out what's going on and see if it's... No, I'm doing a test right now, streaming from my phone into this computer here. It's working fine. So Kelly's having lots of problems, whatever it is. His drone that he was going to stream in isn't coming, and he hasn't come and joined us in here. So, John, stick around for a little bit.
I'm here.
That's all right.
That's no worries. I was interested in that story, actually. Amazing how much of the tech is on board now, because obviously I always imagined swarm technology relied on the drones being connected to a large-scale computer organising all of their movements and so forth. But here now we're seeing on-board intelligence, obviously obstacle avoidance, and the aircraft organising themselves, which is just fascinating for such small aircraft. So yeah, lots of stuff. There's heaps of application for that. We're not talking about using swarms now just for light shows or demonstrations or kind of clever display of technology, but what might be possible in the future using large numbers of aircraft. And look, you think about, he mentioned there, which is the one I found interesting, was search and rescue in a forest. Yeah, absolutely. If you get down in below a rainforest canopy and you're able to scoot around with your Skydio amongst the trees looking, you're covering such a small area relatively. You could go off on a track or so forth, but boy, you put 20 aircraft up like that doing the same thing, covering an area, carpeting the area. That's a completely different ball game. That's a whole new thing.
It's really good technology, and certainly they're combining the CPU power with some low-range connectivity to make the drones aware of themselves, not just through the visual sensors, but additionally through, I don't know if they're using like low-power Bluetooth or something like that, but they are certainly building a mini network between them as well. So really cool technology. Now, Grumps, we've got our next story coming up. Let's put that on the screen. And
payload drone.
Yeah, this drone has an interesting payload. Well, this is a twist we didn't see coming. Sheriff Manuel Gonzalez may go down in internet history as the guy whose run for mayorship was interrupted by a drone carrying an interesting payload. But as it turns out, the risque flying machine may not have been flaunting a sex toy after all. Unless you've been living under a rock this past week, you would have heard about Gonzalez getting interrupted during a mayoral campaign in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Now, I'm deliberately avoiding the actual item that's hanging, but apparently it was a sock stuffed with paper, and it had eyes on it apparently as well. So let's just watch the video.
Because what it's done, it's compromised the integrity of the police department, because they're willing to start overlooking IA cases, and it doesn't do anything good for the people. So for me, I'm not running on a qualitative, I'm running on a qualitative, not a quantitative message, okay? So,
Is that a gong on a drone?
We have a gentleman over here that's, I guess, trying to be cute, so. I guess that's one of your friends, but anyway, my point is this, ma'am. We'll listen to you, we'll work with you at the table, but this is the thing. this isn't about progressives or conservatives. It's about the people. And so
now, what gets interesting here is
you would have a voice
someone
at the table.
jumps in
If you
and
want to
it
ever
actually
come talk to me
turns
as
out into
sheriff,
a scuffle.
I can tell you that. As a mayor, I can tell you the same thing.
And apparently someone was arrested. But I tell you what, I found another version of this same video which had some music with it, and I wanted to share this alternate version for you in just a moment. We'll just let this run a bit.
Check the fire room, guys. Yeah, go ahead and walk away from the stage, please. Go ahead, Art.
So he gets taken away.
Okay. We need you guys to leave.
Here's the alternate one. Okay, we'll leave it there. Okay, let's stop the video.
Now,
thank you, Officer Nightstick.
Thank you, Officer. I can imagine, this thing going viral on television. It's a shame there's so many other good stories that we could have had other than that prank.
Well, certainly the video, it was definitely a money shot video. Yeah. It was an interesting payload.
Yeah, oh yeah, sure.
There's so many jokes there.
I agree. There's all sorts of jokes there. And, I suppose it's going to encourage other people to do the same thing. And, honestly, it doesn't really do us any help, guys. It doesn't do us any favors. Just another thing that it goes, oh, there goes another drone. That's another reason I don't like them, honestly. But look, it's going to happen. I'm not too worried about it, really.
Mm. It was a good laugh. But what is he going to get charged with at the end of the day? I'm not an American law specialist, but they don't have the 30-meter rule. What's the equivalent that they have over there, John? Do you know?
I'm going to ask Lloyd. Because that it might be depending on what the weight of the aircraft was. You guys don't have a 30-meter rule, Lloyd? Is that right? You don't have a distance from the public?
There, unless he has the right waivers, he's not even allowed to fly over people or near people.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
You're not allowed to fly over a crowd or a gathering, or I can't remember the exact word. So certainly, that's what he's probably going to get done for.
Yeah. Oh, look, it's just it wasn't entirely, risky operation, I suppose, in the sense of what it was and the size of the aircraft. If it had been an S-600 or something rather large that had been flying overhead, there'd be different sort of risk involved. But, I mean, they might throw the book at him, just to make a point.
Yeah. So I'm just having a look at my server here. Kelly is still not here with his aircraft.
You reckon he's got the time wrong? You reckon he's got the...
No, he's in the chat right now. He's trying to get some things straightened out. I don't know what's going on exactly, but he is in the chat.
Okay. Yeah.
I've just asked him to jump into Rendezvous, so at least we can hear from the man himself. We'll see what happens with that.
I'm just going to jump right in now, seeing we've got all sorts of other problems today. Lloyd, I'm making a suggestion. If we have to use Officer, who I think is a new character that we're introducing to the show, I think we should think about installing a propeller on his hat. I think that would be a suitable addition. You know what I mean? It wouldn't be because that would make him, I suppose a recognizable difference, having a spinning propeller on the hat. But well done.
Yeah. We've just got Kelly. Something? We've got Kelly as appearing as a black screen in our video software here. So Kelly is having lots of problems today. Kelly, if you want to disconnect and refresh it.
T-Bird says a donut on his hat. Yeah.
Yeah, a donut.
A spinning donut,
A donut. Yeah, okay. Donut's good too. That's not going to last though.
Well, like a donut with a ducted fan, it looked like a ducted fan and a donut, and kill two birds with one stone.
Yep, absolutely. Works for me.
Okay. Let's move on to our next one for the moment. Are you ready there, Grumps?
Here it is.
Here we go. The bus drone. Now, while Uber Elevate plans to launch an air taxi service for up to 4 passengers in 2023, a New York startup is thinking bigger by developing a drone bus that fits 40 people. The drone bus is able to carry 40 people at a time from it'll let New Yorkers fly to the Hamptons for just $85 per person, a fraction of the cost of a helicopter. But startup creators say it won't be ready until 2024. Now, this is the video that came with this thing. I don't know. There we go. John, thoughts?
I love this stuff. Look at it. I mean, that's a pretty cool, thing.
Computer graphic generated.
Yeah, a 40-seater. I mean, we don't know what it's going to look like eventually, but look at it. It's Star Trek, and you're talking about 2 years' time, 3 years' time. That's great, man. I mean, I'm going to be sitting in my rocking chair watching this stuff. I absolutely love it. I think it's fantastic. Particularly for those of us in the Wild West here that remember, putting together our first quad frame, and watching technology grow from a hobbyist beginning, and get pushed through a hobbyist beginning into that sort of thing is just unbelievable. That's great. A 40-seater, what a 40-seater helicopter costs to operate? I'm not sure how many there are in terms of 40-seat helicopters. But
now we're going to do it unmanned.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, the thing is that there's a crossover there too in the technology, but where we're going to see aviation technology merge. So, a lot of people wrongly assume that modern airliners fly themselves, and in a sense their automation levels are so high, but there's still someone up there, making some decisions involved with the technology. I can imagine how that we're going to crawl into that space as well in terms of a conventionally piloted aircraft. You're going to see the technology that comes from electronic power, or hybrid power, hydrogen power, brushless motors of a high size, inducted fans, and all of it, and carbon fiber, and all this light technology, all of the stuff that we use and are familiar with into obstacle vehicles that will carry people. So that's where it's going. There's no reason why there wouldn't be a crew, flying the airplane or available to fly the airplane. They would be doing what a normal pilot would do, and it would provide a level of safety.
Yeah, absolutely. We've finally got Kelly there. We're just going to get him into the shot at the moment. Let's. I'll get my producer to go and do some magic. I'm just reading an email. All sorts of issues tonight. Trying to get on Rendezvous, but it's not going well. Well, we finally got him here. Just about. There we go. Kelly.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. What's going on there tonight?
Well, I'm in Springfield, Missouri, and a couple of things. Number one, it started to rain just a few minutes ago. My family is in the hotel room, and they're all talking on the phones, so I couldn't be in there and talk to you guys. So I'm sitting outside, and you can see the dark clouds off the distance. And it's also getting dark. But I was hoping to fly because it's really pretty. I'm right on Route 66, the old Route 66. Lloyd, you know where that is, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So anyway, sorry. I'd hope to fly over Route, or not over it, but to show you guys 66.
Yeah. We're having a little bit of breakup there with you, Kelly, but if you can hear me, is this going out on your channel? Have you sorted that out yet?
No. I was just trying to get in here so I could talk to you.
Okay. Well, it isn't going out on your channel. No, it didn't start on your channel. I think you forgot to press the auto start button when you created the event.
I did press auto start and auto stop. It should have done both. Hold on, can you hear the thunder? Oh, did you see that?
Nope. I didn't. I didn't hear it, but I'll take your word for it on the lightning.
Yeah. No, it's really pretty here. I guess Lloyd, you've been to Missouri a few times, probably.
Oh yeah, I got grandkids that live there.
Is that a lightning strike that's just freeze framed there for us? Either that or the heavens are opening up. What is that?
Well, I'm not 100% sure what that is. It looks like it's a light pole right there, but I could be wrong. It could be.
Okay.
But the bottom of that cloud looks like the beginning of a tornado.
Yeah. Some fun weather there over there, but Kelly's obviously having some challenges, so we'll continue and have some fun, and just ask anyone who wants to go and fly. And I heard Chris Hope say he was going to go and try and fly. Oh, we've got some people right now. We've got Trevor and we've got Steve Carpenter. So
all right,
let's go and do that. In the meantime, John, can you tell a joke while I get these people into the system? And I know you've got a couple waiting, so go for it.
Well, I told the dog and cat joke, which I really quite enjoy. I'll replay that one. So, two dogs and a cat were waiting at the pearly gates to get in, and God comes down and says, "Okay, who's first?" And the Labrador says, "Oh, me. I'm a Labrador. I'll go first." And God says, "Okay, what did you do with your life?" He says, "Well, it was a very good dog. Good dog. I was a guide dog. I helped people, and I helped people cross the street. And I my whole life I dedicated." And God said, "Very, very good. You may sit on my left-hand side." And he looks down at the German Shepherd, and the German Shepherd says, "Well, look, let me tell you right away, I didn't just help people cross the road." He said, "I saved hundreds of lives. I was a bomb detection dog. I worked in the military. I had a distinguished career. I mean, not just civil stuff. I mean, real stuff, saving lives." And God said, "Oh, that's excellent. You may come and sit on my right-hand side." And then he looks down at the cat, and the cat looks up and says, "I think you're sitting in my seat."
That's a typical cat.
Isn't that a cat joke? Isn't that a nice cat joke? Even if you don't like cats, you get that, right? That's a cat.
Oh yeah.
We do have Steve Carpenter currently streaming in, so let's go and send that one live. There we go. We've got Steve in there. G'day, Steve. Now, not sure where he's flying, and he'll probably have a lot of delay and lag on the audio.
Aren't our airplanes good though? Look, I'm guessing that's not frozen. The stability of the shot is feeding through nicely. Look at that. You can see the traffic down below moving. Look how still the aircraft is. I mean, that's just
Pacific Ocean.
He lives in Dana Point, so he's probably not too far from wherever.
And he's probably got to fly vertically above where he is, so without being able to stretch too far. Look at that. That's great.
Yeah, he's in California. So
yeah, right.
That is the I-5 freeway headed
but he lives in Dana Point, California.
Los Angeles, California.
Yeah, Los Angeles, California.
Is that what color is the sky? Is that cloud, or what are we looking at there? Is that Californian smog?
Air pollution.
Is it really?
That's probably, yeah.
Man, yeah, I can believe it. Yeah. Wow. That's cool. And we can see all the way to the ocean, of course, in the background. Is that right, Lloyd?
Right. Yeah, he was facing the ocean. He's turning back around the other direction.
I got that. That's towards, the Pacific.
That would be the Pacific. Yeah.
Pacific on the eastern side of the Pacific. Well, yeah, we're on the western side of the Pacific.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Cool. Yeah. All right. Same ocean.
We also have Trevor just about ready. So let me see if I can turn that volume down because it's a bit hard. We've got Trevor not quite there. No, I'm getting black screen from you, Trevor. So I'll get you to go and maybe restart what you're sending, Trev. But in the meantime, some nice footage from good old Steve Carpenter there.
Yeah. Good on you, Steve.
Yeah. Excellent footage.
Yeah, it's good, streaming through nicely. What time of the day is it there? I'm just thinking, go out, not in daylight savings. You got dark.
Yeah.
That's afternoon,
Let's
right?
see. The specific times are 7:30, 5:30, about 5:35
In the afternoon.
in the evening. Yeah.
In the evening, yeah.
Friday evening.
I always try and visualize. So the sun's over the mid-Pacific at the moment because we're in the morning here. It's like 10:30 in the morning, so the sun's well and truly up. And we're looking at the same sun, of course.
5:35 p.m. in California.
Yeah. That's great, isn't it?
Yeah. He's 2 hours behind me.
What would we have done without Galileo?
Absolutely.
Sort all that stuff out for us, eh? He worked it
Right,
out.
exactly. Yeah.
So while that's there, I'm going to start to talk about our next story, just so that we can continue moving through the show. And can we just have Officer Nightstick just for a brief moment? Are we there, Officer? Oh, hang on. We've got our producer going and doing some stuff. We can use the top row one. There we go. The title for this one is entitled Nap Time. Okay, we'll leave that on the screen just for a couple of minutes. So a herd of elephants that have been tracked as they travelled nearly 500 kilometres across China was spotted taking a quick break for a group nap in a forest near the city of, I'm just trying to, Kunming, I think it is. It's a bit distorted on my screen there. Drone footage
I've never seen that. Look at that.
Drone footage released by Chinese state media yesterday shows the herd, including a young calf, taking a rest. Now, if this isn't a good example of drones being used for, giving you a different perspective. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what drones do. They give you that perspective that you couldn't otherwise see. There's no way we would ever get a glimpse of that without
that's
some
incredible.
of this technology.
And obviously high enough they can't hear the aircraft, of course.
Absolutely.
Listen, look at that. They're just zonked out. And I never ever seen a herd of elephants sleeping like that. I never thought they did that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I always thought they slept on their feet, like Lloyd.
He sleeps in the chair every day.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's amazing.
Okay, still got Mr. Carpenter flying there. I'm just going to do a quick spot check, see if we've got anyone else ready.
We can read the news in the background and keep looking at the aerial footage, the live.
Absolutely, and that's what that's my plan.
Yep,
I'm just going to double check Steve Carpenter. I think that's finished and frozen now by the look of it. Let's see what we got coming in from Trevor. He's still got nothing from Mr. Trev.
Bob M was saying that summer brings out the air pollution. Most of the time, most of it becomes invisible in the winter. It's really bad around San Bernardino. I do remember that from living there.
Yeah. Okay, so we're finished with Steve, and Trevor is sending video, but it's a black screen at this end. So Trev, if you want to try and give a different stream name instead of the one that you've got there, Trevor, pick something else, and I'll see if I can pick it up. So let's go on with our next story in the meantime. Fort Myers Police Department. Actually, hang on, there we go. Caught by drone is the title of this one. The Fort Myers Police Department launched a drone in order to assist with the search of a robbery suspect. The person shown was later located and is currently in the Lee County Jail facing possible felony charges. I don't know what to say about this one, but it looks like he's skinny dipping. This is actually the suspect that they found in the footage from the police department. Can we play that one more time?
What's going on?
That's him right there. And it actually looks like he's gone for a skinny dip. Maybe that's to avoid getting caught. I don't know. But nevertheless, the drone was certainly used to help locate him.
I see.
It's like a rather small subject.
Boom, boom. The water was cold.
Okay. Well, it's summer over there. It shouldn't be too
Video
cold.
coming after that.
Now, moving from that last subject on to our next one, let's just play this shot.
We got some more live Wirecast coming through, Greg. That would look good.
No, that was still a frozen shot.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Oh.
Unfortunately, I'm looking around and I can see that shot there. I've got nothing coming from Trevor. Hopefully we'll get something. Our next title is this one. Stacks set to fall. At nearly 200 metres or 650 feet, the stack at Thunder Bay Generating Station is believed to be the tallest structure in northwestern Ontario. The waterfront landmark is likely to be taken down now that Ontario Power Generation has sold the Mission Land Power Island plant to and property to a company that specialises in demolition. Thunder Bay filmmaker Alan Auld captured unique aerial images of the stack. So I think from what I gather as well, he's also talking to the new landowners and finding out when it's going to be demolished so that he can get in there and film the demolition. But certainly being that it's in Canada, their drone laws are a little bit more restrictive from what I understand than the US. So he's putting together a good risk management plan and going through all of those checks and balances to make sure that he can do it without falling afoul of the law. Some nice footage there. And we've still got our friend over there with the freeze frame, Steve Carpenter. But still nothing from our friend Trevor. Let's double check that. John, you got another joke while I check?
What was the other one, Lloyd, that I had this morning? Can you refresh me? I woke up with a few, didn't I, this morning? Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember it either.
Yeah, that's okay.
It was a good one.
It was a good one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Here's another side thing that I was going to throw in today while I had some fun. We're doing a job above 400 feet in this coming week, and we've got an approval to go up there. But what's interesting was the feds, our feds down
there
here, said you've got to have some procedures for monitoring the battery temperatures at high altitude. It's a bit colder, your descent times, and a whole lot of stuff. Been an interesting couple of days. I mean, we know that there's not, really much in terms of limitations operating, our quadcopters up above 120 metres or 400 feet. But of course, now the operation we're going to do is shielded against a building. And so there's, that they're going to give us a waiver or a license to do it, but they wanted these extra procedures in there. So yeah, I suppose those of you that have experience operating in colder climates, like you guys in the States there, will be familiar with how much your battery performance degrades in the colder temperatures, whereas we don't have a lot of experience with that down here. We've got very sort of mild and steady temperatures. But I know the temperature extremes certainly make a difference to your batteries. But anyway, we've got to show that now. We've got to document it for them and then tell them, if we're at high altitude, cold temperatures, how are you going to know you've got enough fuel to come home in those conditions? So there you go. It's not a joke, but, it could become
it's interesting.
A joke. If your battery fails, it'll become a joke. Or maybe not. So, yeah, it's interesting. Well, it's our show, so oh yeah, good. Ka-ching.
We've got.
I can see ka-ching.
Do I have to press that button?
There you go.
We have a super chat. Who's the super chat from?
It's from Kelly at Ready Set Drone.
Oh, Kelly,
hey,
thank you.
Sorry,
thank you.
I could not get a flight going or get the show. Internet at the hotel is crap. It must be Wirecast. No, it's what did he say? It's must not be epidemic sound. Yeah.
And we've got another one, Northern Tier FPV. Do I have to get out the train music that Ken uses? So we've got two in a row.
Flying Hot Dog was hilarious. Good one.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I've got a special video to do with a flying hot dog.
You're going to do the Bunnings one?
Yeah, let's put that on now.
Yeah, she showed the Bunnings one. This is one that gained a lot of.
No. This is a
news.
different one. This is
different.
Bunnings related, but it's not the flying hot dog. Let's watch.
Trying my first Bunnings snag.
I'll do ketchup. Tomato sauce. Sorry.
She had no idea what he was saying when he asked for ketchup.
I'm very excited to try this. Don't worry, I did not forget the onions or the dead horse. Got it covered. That is so good. I don't know why this is a thing. Just a sausage on a piece of bread at a hardware store, but I love it. This is awesome.
Yeah, I saw that come through this morning and I thought, well, we should have that considering we've got the flying hot dog.
Absolutely. I agree with it. I don't know why we get so excited about a sausage on a piece of bread with tomato sauce. I mean, it's a ritual. I think there's a ritualistic element to it. The fact that it's simple food. And remember, the Earl, Lord of Sandwich, who first invented the idea of putting items wrapped around in bread, was so that he didn't have to leave the gambling table, or he could keep gambling and eating at the same time. He didn't have to stop. And there is that too. I mean, you can think about all the things that you can do. We only need to eat your food with one hand, and that's it. Your sausage and bread you can hold in one hand. There you go. And have a drink in the other. Right, Lloyd? There's just
exactly.
Not once you've got to use a knife and fork to eat anything. I mean, it's over. You've got to sit down. You've got to have a place to balance a plate and all that. I mean, I know this is not really. However, it relates to drone flying. Of course, you can now fly and eat at the same time, just like the Earl of Sandwich. So there you go. It's meaningful.
Absolutely. So we've got Trevor in the background at the moment, currently on screen. Now I'm going to have a look, see if I've got any audio from him. I don't think I have. Don't know why that is. I never get audio from Trevor, but I get it from others. But the video is a little bit glitchy there today, Trev, wherever you are. There we go, back to normal. Anyway, in the meantime, let's get on with our next story, which would be... Are you ready? The Invisi 360 FPV drone. This newbie Invisi 360 FPV drone is a solution for Insta360 video. The drone is specifically designed for the Insta360 1R and it provides footage free of any frames or props or any other interruptions from the drone. Check it out. Have you done any, oh, hang on. Officer Nightstick, one more time. On screen. There we go. Thanks for that. Who have we got here? Artco Drone Solutions. What do you do with a dead chemist? You bury him.
Oh, my God. That was actually fun.
That's good.
Art's jokes are getting better.
That's really good.
One of Art's better ones, but
yeah.
Barium. Yeah, that's really good. I'm going to keep that one. Thank you so much. That's a beauty. I know my son Tom will love that. Also, my friend Roy, I got friends who love that kind of joke. Yeah.
Yeah, but after the use of the barium, there's after effects. I'll leave it alone at that.
Boom, boom.
Okay. Let's get to our next story. We've got a couple left. What do you think of that Invisi 360, though, first of all, John? Have you done any 360 flying, or are you planning on it?
Oh, a little bit. We had I worked with a school once that had had the camera stuff and set up, and it was fun. We just basically mounted a 360 camera on the Phantom, and off we went, and it was good fun. We got some good footage, and we played with it, and I think that definitely, if that's the way to go, take quite a bit of thinking about planning your shots and so forth, how you want to get it. But yeah, give it a try. You learn by trial and error with that one.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, we've got Trevor showing us some footage over there. Let's just see if there's anyone else waiting to come in, just in case. Because I know Chris said he was going to try and jump in. No, he's not there yet. But some good live footage from different parts of the world. If you've got your drone ready to go and fly, let us know in the chat so that we can get ready to have you on screen. In the meantime, let's get to our next story. Are we ready for the title? Thor drone swatting. Okay. This Tactical High Power Operations Responder, or Thor, and that was a cool acronym for them to get, it was built to protect military bases from enemy drone attacks. The system can shoot high-powered microwaves at unmanned aircraft to disrupt their electronics. Amber Anderson, the project manager, said this particular video, which is not an actual live video, it's an animation, but it was created as a way to explain the technology to the public. She said one of the reasons for the campaign is to inform the public about what the country is doing to prepare as drones become more commonplace in the skies.
Drones are becoming a more pervasive threat every day. The ease of customization that makes them so attractive to hobbyists also appeals to bad actors using them for nefarious means. Unmanned aerial systems are currently being used to surveil operations, destroy infrastructure, and attack personnel. Technology, always moving forward, ensures these vehicles will become faster, more advanced, and more deadly. Small arms have limited range and effectiveness, and larger arms have high cost compared to their target. The Air Force Research Laboratory has developed a low cost per shot, speed of light solution. Thor uses a focused beam of energy to defeat drones at a large target area. It provides a non-kinetic defeat of multiple targets at the speed of light. This unique system allows base defense forces to stop UAS attacks at long range before they threaten critical infrastructure. Thor completely stows a 20-foot
do you think this is an animation though, John?
Easily be transported in a
when those drones were going down?
The system can be set up by as few as 2 people within 3 hours and operates from ground power. Thor uses high-power microwaves to cause a counter-electronic effect.
I just want to look one more time.
The silent weapon discharges in less than a second, and the impact...
There's another one. Here we go. Here we go.
The Air Force
They're flying and then...
has already demonstrated Thor's effectiveness during real-world tests, where it defeated hundreds of UAS systems. AFRL developed this unique system, allowing base defense forces to stop UAS attacks.
Okay, let's leave that there. We get the idea.
Looks like a great video game.
Yeah, it's an expensive cartoon, Lloyd.
Yeah,
and that you're not going to see that outside a military application because the cost of it will be off the scale. It's not going to be used for civilian. I can't imagine. Anyway, I mean, used around a military base or to prevent threats of a military attack for sure. But that's a whole nother ball game, as you guys say.
Well, it'll cost $10 million to build under military contract.
Yeah.
If they did it under civilian contract and then sold it straight to the military, it'd probably cost about $150,000 to build.
Yeah, and probably that would be the difference. And it's you could do the same thing with a bow and arrow. Who knows? I mean, who knows? It's a big, as I said before, earlier in the show, counter UAS technology is big business. Big business.
Yeah, absolutely. We've now got another video. We've got good old Chris Hope He's going and sharing his famous lake. We've seen this a number of times in the past, but very nice to see it again.
Is this Hope Lake?
I think so. Thanks for getting up, Chris, and flying. Appreciate it. Good to see you up in the air.
Yeah, he said earlier give him about 30 minutes, so he was probably driving. Well, he's probably driving in because he's been out away from home working, so he was probably just coming in from work.
Trying to get a two-shot with the other camera, but not having much luck. So, let's cancel that one. We'll just keep Hope Lake up for the moment, and we'll come back to Trevor in a bit. While we're doing that, let's have a look at our last story. And Grumpy, are you ready? Full tank is the title of this story. Last Friday, an FA-18 Super Hornet fighter jet flew behind another aircraft and dipped its wings a little bit as it adjusted its position, and then it connected its probe with a hose trailing from the plane in front of it. It then received hundreds of pounds of fuel, all while travelling at an altitude of 10,000 feet. While it's common in the military for aircraft to refuel in the sky, up until now the planes giving them a top-up have always had human pilots. What sets this moment apart is the fact that the refueling aircraft was a drone called an MQ-25. While there were two people in the Super Hornet, the drone was unoccupied, and it's the unmanned aerial vehicle that provides and delivers that fuel. Let's have a look at that. Now, Lloyd, I'm trying to remember, what was your role in the Air Force again?
I basically loaded bombs.
Okay.
Or worked on weapons systems, weapons release, gun systems, anything to make stuff go boom.
You're the boom man. And things haven't changed. Instead of making aircraft go boom, you now press your buttons.
Yeah. I don't have one ready, believe it or not.
Anyway, so what do you think of that one? John's having a good laugh.
I thought it was pretty cool.
What kind of automation did they have that we might not have ordinarily thought of in your day? I mean, you've spoken about a few things in the past, but what kind of automated systems would intrigue us?
Well, there was very little automation. I mean, we had for example, the weapons release systems were all, everything was hardwired. You could set it to release at certain times, like bombs at certain intervals, but it was all done with analog type switches.
But I remember you talking one time about some sort of like navigation system that was like an autopilot that was before its time or something like that. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, we had like the proximity fuse systems. We had, for example, they didn't even have infrared when I was first in. And I actually got to help test the imaging infrared system. They had infrared because we had heat-seeking missiles, but we didn't have night vision goggles. There was no night vision in the aircraft. The first one that had it was the A-10, and that was developed off an air-to-ground missile called the AGM-65, the Maverick. And it used a infrared with imagery over it. And the drone systems they used were basically they were all manually controlled. They had big. Well, John would know about that because I think he mentioned that. I think I remember them. You were talking about that in one of the aircraft, but the drone systems back then were basically aircraft They weren't like these things now. And they just put in all sorts of pulleys and strings and servos to make them activate. And then a signal was sent back by radio. And they had some big control system down on the ground. And those were used for target practice. But, I mean, I got out in 1980. So the stuff I worked on was from 1974 to 1974 to 80. So we're talking, we were just on the beginning to start use the automation. We had the standard autopilot system that was available on aircraft, but we didn't have any automation like they have now. We did use, some of us worked on a development of, we were trying to get self-driving cars using proximity sensors off of like the fuse systems, where for the self-parking car, they could, or self-stopping, once that proximity detected, then it would lock up the brakes. And, but those were off of, most of us guys that were doing that stuff were munitions people, so we're scrapping stuff off of old bombs, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, John, go.
Pretty manual stuff.
In those early days, it took a while to transition. Lloyd's talking 50 years ago, and we didn't rely on anything but electromechanical and hardwired stuff.
Yeah.
Because it was reliable. Silicon and transistorized equipment, wasn't up to the grade. The components are there. And the other big thing that makes a huge difference with what we have today is sensor technology. So, the way that we sense electrical power, we sense barometric pressure, and all of these really micro sensors that we have are the other, if you like, component in the whole mix here that we have. This, whether it's an IMU, even an ESC for our motors is a sensor, provides feedback to the power unit, to saying I need this much electricity to this motor right now, and all of those things that we didn't have. That was all done mechanically. It was done with human interface, and we didn't have that kind of dancing arrangement with the electronics, if you like, the way they dance together today. It's taken that long. It's taken us 50 years to get there here, though, and to have those components,
One of the early computerized systems in an aircraft was called an ASCU, Armament Systems Control Unit. And it was about 1 foot by 1 foot wide by 1 foot wide. So whatever a foot is, you guys put it in your foreign
couple of shoe boxes.
It was like, it was 3 foot long.
Yeah, right.
And it weighed about 75 pounds. And it was all servos. When we had to test it, we brought it out, we put it on a stand, we basically plugged this big behemoth brick and started running reel-to-reel tapes to do a test, and then it lit up filament light bulbs, with numbers, it'd light up the wire to make what,
just a quick little
an A, a B,
here.
or C, stuff like that.
Just a quick little interlude. I don't know what Trevor's trying to show us here. Is he trying to show us some of our trees in Australia there? But yeah.
He's looking for
coming
something.
Down for a landing. He was trying to find the landing pad.
To land. There we go.
Okay.
Yeah, I knew it was here somewhere. Where was it?
I'll see if Chris is still up.
Where's Trevor? Greg?
South Australia.
Oh, okay. Because we've got some wild weather in some parts of the country. You might have some wind going on. Where's that?
Yeah.
That's Trevor.
Yeah.
No,
this is
back
in
to Chris.
Texas. This is Chris Hope.
Oh, yeah, nice. So that's afternoon again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, we're back in the States.
Actually, it's 8 o'clock, 8:04, and there's Mr. Hope right there.
Oh, look at that. What a nice, cool flying chair. I like it, a swing chair.
Yeah.
Yeah, there he is. He's waving at us. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's a hard life. So we might leave it there on that note, just to have that on the screen. And it's nice to see you there, Chris. You've got one more post-it note, I think, on your list there that you haven't used yet, I think. Is that right?
No.
No, not the list. One of the other ones. No, after that.
Oh, this one here. Yeah, let me...
Yeah, OzByDrone News and our program is also supported by NoLimitDrones. Do you feel like your drone is weighed down by chains when you're flying? Take off the chains and fly without limitations. Go to NoLimitDrones.com for more information. And in particular, they've now got hardware mods so that you can get more range out of your drone. Check that out as well on their website. Really cool tech. Well, it's been fun. We've got all four of us here at the moment. We've got the House of Hope in one corner, John, Officer Nightstick. That's been fun having him here today. Any last words from the others here on the screen?
Oh, look, thanks, Lloyd, for that little view back into the past of some of that technology. Just reminds us where we are. That's great. We should maybe get some photos and stuff when we're trying to remind ourselves how far we've come with the tech sometimes, and then look at perhaps a 40-seater drone. It's going to take people out to Long Island. Lucky for them. So, it was a fun day. And thanks to everyone who made an effort, even if you didn't get in or you didn't get your check going. Thanks for making an effort to fly live on the show. We really appreciate it.
Yeah. Okay, last words from Officer Nightstick.
Well, he doesn't have a lot to say, but I'll say what I always say, be kind, treat each other better than you would treat yourselves. Remember, even dummies are important. And ask any politician. Anyways.
That's what someone thought with the story we had earlier today. Obviously, they thought their politician was... Anyway.
Yeah, exactly. But everybody matters, even dummies.
Yeah. Okay, look, thanks for being with us today. As always, this is OzByDrone. It would be really appreciated if you share this stream with some friends. We want to grow the channel. It's actually, I'm sad to say that in the last 28 days, we've actually gone backwards by 1 subscriber. So go and share this with some people. We want to grow. That would help us out greatly. Comment, thumbs up, do all of those things. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being part of the show. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now.
Bye, everybody.